Oh wow, this is a really interesting wind. So there's a couple ways to do this. With the tailwind case, I'm going to kind of use my opponent's shot, which will basically dictate the way that I play it. Occasionally I'll do this shot. I'm not a huge fan of it. And the biggest reason is you can see how much my opponent's curling it. That's actually probably pretty spot on. Looks pretty good. It does require kind of a perfect ball. I wasn't really paying attention to their aim. It looks like with the great ball, that was actually probably better than... Looks like it didn't quite use enough spin. So there's a couple ways that I can go about doing this. I can beat them with a sniper shot. So with the sniper shot, I'll usually maybe use plus 20%, somewhere in here. Up. 9.4 rings. And I'll usually use maybe some topspin, but in this situation, when it's a tailwind, I'm going to back off. As I mentioned, we're trying to visualize, you can see from this camera view that 10 rings down is about where the bunker is. So at 9.4 rings, I'm just going to kind of line it up like this. You can see kind of where I'm aiming. And very little curl extra. You'll see about half curl. This should give me, a very good chance. As I mentioned, I'll usually use a little bit of topspin. Not going to need... Ooh, wow. I rolled through much farther than I expected to. Is it supposed to be one backspin? No, I think you need... Oh, wow. I actually ended up losing by 0.2. I cannot believe. Blown away by that. So that should have been a very easy win for me. Not really sure what my miscalculation was there. I'm almost positive that I'll usually use topspin there. So using side spin in a tailwind situation should have been pretty spot on. I'm almost wondering if that hole changed the way that it runs it. Like maybe they changed the slope, the way that it hits the mound or something. I'm not really sure why that rolled through quite as much. However, a little bit of backspin, half a bar would have been, pretty much spot on. But it's also dependent upon land zone as well. You can see that, I'm kind of anticipating it landing very close to the bunker. And without, a ring or two less, and it was probably spot on. It hits a mound a little bit differently. So just something to be thinking about for your shots. So good luck with that hole. I do recommend kind of the way that I played that as kind of a tailwind type scenario. You can do it with a similar bounce towards that right-hand side. I could have played it like my opponent, and especially with the extra side spin, it would have been a very easy shot as well. But I've been playing it that way. So you can see that the way that I went over towards the left, I've been playing it that way so long, and I know the shot so well that I just kind of stick to it. And as I mentioned, it usually rolls out pretty true. Granted, I don't play quite as much as I used to. However, I'm still feel pretty confident that I usually use about one topspin. So it is, probably dependent upon land zone a little bit. But they also, potentially could have tweaked the way that, because it didn't seem to check up very well there at all. So, just something to think about. Hopefully, I'll try to make the adjustments as necessary. As I mentioned, I won't go that way much, but on a tailwind situation, it's a very reliable, safe shot. So good luck there, and catch you guys next time.